But I thought I'd try something different today. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Jose. I would like to coin the term astro... No, sorry. Lost here. MICRO-astrology. It's where I work with over 200, maybe 300 asteroids. And I like the number because it's like infinite amount of numbers or whatever. And it gives a lot of details to the reading and a lot of things that I never thought I would expect, especially if you compared it to like regular astrology where they just look at the placement of the planets. You can get a lot of those things, but it gives me direct access and, into things. And these are co-created things. So I love it. So anyways, today thought I'd do a response to a video, which I've done sometimes before, but it's not really a response. It's more like using astrology as evidence for what there is for the month of July. Okay, so I thought this would be interesting because and see what I get. I'm approaching this from less of a cathartic approach than I usually would because this is just very interesting because the way she approached it was this we're entering a stage of our gradual evolution, and this one ties in a lot with plasmic or plasm. I once saw a video, it was like plasmoid. That's the area of plasmic energy or plasma, and how it's affecting us at an atomic, but even probably subatomic level, which is beautiful because I feel like it's gonna be, I don't know how to describe it. It's like exciting, but at the same time, like cool. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know, just a certain calm giddiness about it. I don't know how about you guys, but anyways, I thought I'd do that. So before I go into it, I wanted to look further into the charts and see what I get. And so far that I notice here, I'm just going to share the actual chart itself, or the window to that chart. Okay, and I'm going to do it here. Let's see what I get here. Okay. Yeah, here you go. So you can probably see, I don't know if you notice a lotus shape thing here, but I do. There's something about being caught, this little cup here, just there's this feeling of being caught in this whole start of new things. Clotho is the asteroid, it's one of the asteroids of the three, and subsequent to the main asteroid called uh, Moira, which are the fates. Clotho represents beginnings, starting new things, right? It's funny because it's in the retrograde and it's in the critical degree of Scorpio. So that usually means like real transformation, but in a very human level because it's in the Dwad of Libra and it's trying to in Mercury retrograde, also Jupiter here. That means there's a shift of going back to the originality of things. Retrograde, also Mercury. That means it's going to be really focused energy, right? And then also sextile to the electric energy that is tied to Uranus and Mars. It's going to be, you can say, intensified. It's a very flowing sign. It's a very flowing energy because of Gemini. It's our minds and usually it's our hands. This is Gemini, it's tied to our hands. And in the video, she talks about it also in the hands. She talks about how there's positive electric energy. Oh, sorry, negatively, positively charged electrons, I guess also protons is part of this one. And it creates a charge, right? If you know what I'm talking about, I don't know the science really behind it, so I should, but not right now. There's a trine to the moon and which is conjunct to Pluto retrograde, which is also transformation, transmutation, right? It's really a lot of change happening right now at a very air-like level, physical level as well. And that's interesting because we have here Capricorn, the moon in Capricorn here, starting for this whole energetic energy of July. That, you know, this is the skin. This is Capricorn, the skin, also the bone. So we'll feel it internally and also externally within ourselves in our energetic field. And that's also energetic field. That's the moon as well, right? Auric field as well as part of this one. So we'll feel the shift happening as well at a very electric level. So I find this very beautiful. The lotus figure that I saw here was tied to the north node, south node. There's like this sort of seesaw effect going on here between Gaia, which is planet Earth, that's her, and also Proto, which is beginnings, new things starting off, right, with the South Node. So it's like a new sort of focus of reformation. And this whole thing with the South Node in Virgo, which is the little things that are happening and flowing with the waters of Gaia into the Pisces right here. So it's like this sort of interjecting, intercontinental, interspersing sort of energy slicing through Clotho into opposite of Mars and Uranus. So I feel like there's a square here, even though it feels like a challenge for many humans, especially with the path of Gaia and humanity itself. Sila-Nunam is here as well. Sila-Nunam is a dwarf planet tied to um what's Sila-Nunam? It is one of the deities. It's a combination of two specific deities associated with respect, reverence, and reversion, right? So it's the essence of things, source energy, Kundalini. A lot of the dwarf planets tend to refer back to the past, all the old things, but specifically Silanunum is tied to just sort of succession, supplanting. That totally makes sense, right? It's almost like things are happening. It's almost like we're rebirthing ourselves. There's this new seed coming through, which has already been there anyways. It's always been there, but it feels kind of almost like perplexing, mysterious, maybe cryptic, mystifying. Okay. And it's going through cycles. It's like all around cycles, stuff like that. It's happening here as well. Lifeblood is coming through here. Nurturingness, or feel like it's nurtured. She said in a video that it's a feeling of like it's not going to be crazy. This sort of spark. Watch the video though, you'll see. And it's funny because Siladunum represents the body, okay, the whole body, the corpse itself, breathing and breath, movement, locomotion, change, shifting, fluctuations, right? Timelessness as well, shape shifting, metamorphosis, okay? Transubstantiation is also part of this one. Anything that has to do with transitioning, okay? Um, so it feels like it's everywhere as well. Okay, and there's this energy about it. And she's also non-corporeal energy. Okay, there's this whole feeling about that whole thing. So the collective will be affected by this as well. Stories might be told about this where it feels kind of like enigmatic. Um, yeah, it feels interesting. Like there's land, soil, and earth is part of this one as well. Going back to fundamentals, basics. I feel like there's a strong pull toward our nature, natural selves. Okay. Watch the fact that it's like maybe people might feel like they need to survive. It's because you might get scared because it's a new sensation. That's totally fine. Just sit with it and breath because this is important, right? It feels like and also an intermediation as well to for us to go back into our certain potent self. I'm seeing here potent again to our understanding of our quarks, our atoms, our mycelial network is tied to this, which is tied to the Pluto placement here. Gaia here is representing the connection directly to Gaia, right? Our own earthly self, our own connection to everything that's brought beneath us, which is actually in us already. Anything that may be unnamed, um, going back to origin, it feels kind of maybe it reminds us of our immortality, natural laws, sort of again going deeper into ourselves, the origins, going back to our original selves, ancestry, something that feels like underground, right? It feels very mother-like, that sort of feeling as well. Okay, it feels kind of like we're going back to our sense of fertility, our sense of like a creativity. Okay, so this is a cycle of a new thing as well. That's interesting because Gaia here, is part of this placement right here, opposite of that. With new things, so starting over with Proto here. Protos is the asteroid here, that states new beginning. Astrea is also part of that whole plasmic energy that I mentioned earlier. Astrea is the tied to, I believe, the golden period or something like that, the golden age, a utopian age, or utopian, not age, but a utopia or dystopia, depending on how you look at it. Okay, more values, the new Earth. Okay, it's interesting how I love this one, the new Earth sort of thing. But really, what it is we're getting into that. We're moving in that direction. Okay. It says here also, Astra is tied to a fear of being among or presence with corruption and unconsciousness, and that's totally okay. With Astra, yeah, there, it just means that it's happening on Earth, and that's totally okay. You gotta flow with that, right? Pisces, it's because it's in Pisces, it's like a balancing. We're here to balance things. You have here a grand fixed square, or rather, just a grand square, right? Of all these changes that are happening. It feels challenging, but I would tell you right now, it'll keep you awake. This is usually what represents that's squares. It's just what it feels like. It's gonna feel like she said in the video too, it's like I would say more invigorating, but makes you feel alive as well. Clotho trine Neptune, Clotho trine Aten, Mercury, Jupiter here shows me that there is this sort of like fire flow, heat and cold balance. So it feels warm in between. Cold and hot in between, it's warm, right? Lukewarm rather. Okay. With Aten there's a sort of I feel like there's a certain placement back to or an understand. Okay. So we either are open to it or closed to it. I would say allow yourself to feel that. Okay, you feel like it's different. It's a stretch. It's a reach forward. You feel like you're kind of special. There's a sort of appreciation feel about it, I would say, because it's tied to Mercury and Jupiter. Then again, but then if it's in Cancer, then you might start to feel it around the chest area, closer to the bosom right here. Okay, with Neptune there in Aries, it's going to come down more like a download right here, but then it's going to flow with that. There's a trine, there's a grand sextile. There's a grand trine there, specifically to Jupiter. So it'll feel kind of more expansive, if anything. But it is tied to Mercury right here in Aten. Mercury is retrograde here. Is Aten retrograde? No, it's not. Or is it? Nope, it is not. Okay, so either you detach from it or you're attached to it. Okay, maybe you feel like if you resist it, you're gonna fall off the wagon. Okay, otherwise it's gonna feel okay. It is tied to electromagnetic radiation as well, but it's more like it doesn't have to be radiation per se, but it's electromagnetic. That's what she said in the video as well. Okay. Um, Incandescence is part of this as well. And something to do with the sun as well. Okay, Aten is tied to the solar rays as well. So this is tied to, I would say, tied to the flashes that are coming through with the sun. Not so much the 3 days of flash or anything like that. Maybe. Okay. For those who have heard that. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here. What else did she say? There's something about what else? Plasma, euphoria. Again, okay, hands, arms, fingers. So she did say that there was something to do with hands as well. That's a natural flow we have here trying to Clotho. And with Clotho being in Scorpio, I would say Clotho is tied to the fingers as well. Let me double check that here. Skin, membrane. Okay, okay, that's the one. What else is trying to this one? Okay. Ra-Shalom is kind of tied to this one. Ra-Shalom is tied to it's square to Pluto, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad thing. Squares is a way to awaken us, right? Our true state of being. Okay. So Ra-Shalom is about the eye of Ra, the unseen. Okay, it's a blessings if you choose to see it that way. Beginnings and endings, start to finish. Okay. Well-wishing, peace, welfare, absorption. Okay. So there could be back and forth sort of feeling of like this sort of thing where we're headed towards more unity. We're being called towards that instead of separation and war and anger. And fear mongering. Okay, this is an opportunity for us to refine, to rediscover our own, well, sovereignty. Okay, but because it's closer, you also have Chiron here, so it's an integrational process. Chiron here is more square to the moon, so if people are having a hard time embracing this one, all you got to do is listen. You got to pause and you got to listen. Chaos is actually conjunct the sun here, so to me, and because it's trine north node, whilst the sun is sextile south node, no sextile Pluto, a sextile Protos. So that means there's an opportunity to start over again. Absolutely go fully start over again, but we have to reopen to that feeling. We can't be stubborn about it. But everybody's in their own journey. Okay. We have to adjust to it. We have chaos here actually quincunx Pluto. So that means that the adjustment towards this whole process will take a bit of much effort and really being just, you have to adapt to it. Okay. That's the most I'm getting out of this one for now. I don't want to go too much into details. Um, let's see. Talia I mentioned here is also the thing with plasma as well. But Talia is about dancing. Talia is, well, celebration. Talia is more about celebration. It'll feel more like a celebration. That's the euphoric thing I'm getting here. And Talia is actually sextile, sextile the moon. So that means that when people, this moon represents people. So people have the choice to do this. It'll feel naturally celebratory if you allow for it. If you make the effort to, not pushing anything, you make the effort to allow yourself to feel it. Otherwise, it's going to be more of a shock. And that's where it's going to feel like your immune system is going to, but actually it's not. Right, so that's what she said in the video. I wanted to tie that directly to the video and just see what I got from the charts. Okay, that's as far as I can go for now. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some insight. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.